questions?
Okay, well, it's another week, another big game against a good opponent against Nebraska, which, you know, I know our players are looking forward to practicing this week. I think we'll come out with a good attitude. We understand there's a lot of work to be done, but, you know, we got a lot of young guys, and we got to work through this. And I think the only way to do that is to evaluate each performance weekly, make corrections, identify them, talk about them, figure out ways to improve, and then you come back on Tuesday and you work your tail off to get better, and you gain the confidence by the end of the week to go out on the field and play some better football. So I think our guys will do that. We just got to continue to work as hard as we can to get better and try to make progress each and every week.
Brian?
How do you handle the quarterbacks this week in terms of the reps in practice?
Well, right now, Jack Plummer will start for us. We'll get both quarterbacks ready to play. You know, like always, it's never as good as you think after a game. It's never as bad as you think. You know, we need to make some few better decisions early on. I think we can find the check downs better. I think we can locate the number 2 receiver a little bit better. I think we can occasionally pull it back and run it a few times. But, you know, it's rough conditions, and you know, it wasn't the easiest to throw the football in, and I think the quarterbacks will continue to work hard and get better, but Jack will be our starter.
Any chance of Rondell this week?
You know, right now, when it comes to where we're at with that injury front, it's probably better for me to wait towards the end of the week to tell you where we're at. There's quite a few of them. I know they're all working hard to get back on the field, but I probably won't know the status of quite a few of them until later on in the week.
Were there any new ones this week, or did you come out of it okay?
I don't think there was any new ones that I can recall off the top of my head, as far as that should be a lengthy miss.
You said during the bye week, and the offensive lineman said during the bye week too, it was a matter of attitude up front to getting better, to getting more push in the line of scrimmage. Are you seeing what you need to be seeing from them in the running game?
Well, I'm seeing progress from our guys. You know, this past game, it was kind of, you know, each person would kind of take a turn, and they did some good things, they did some things better, but each guy would kind of take his turn, and it kind of hurt us a little bit. And you know, really the negative losses are the ones that hurt us the worst. Not getting positive yardage, so those are the things we got to try to eliminate. But I know our line has worked extremely hard. They put in a lot of extra time before practice, during practice, after practice, to get better, and we just got to push forward through it.
Mike?
Sorry. 4 regular season games left. Any newcomers, any freshmen that you want to get a look at that you've been seeing in practice that maybe you might take a look at in a game?
Well, you know, I think there's some guys getting closer. You know, the ones that make it in, I don't know if you'll see a huge difference from what we have right now, just based on where they're at. Once again, I think Cam Craig on the offensive line is the next one up. He's got good ability. I think he's got a bright future. Understanding everything is a little bit of the issue, and you know, I think this week we'll push him forward and try to get him in the game. You know, on the defensive side of the ball, you know, we had Collie Sanders up ready to go. He got injured. He actually, you know, we'll monitor him where he's at, but he's somebody that's gotten closer. You know, on the defensive line, you know, Stephen Fouché may be a guy that hopefully we'd like to get in here these last games, and maybe even Dante Hunter as well.
What have you seen from Steven in practice that he's taken some steps forward?
Well, Stephen has the size you want, he has the weight you want, the mass you want. We got to continue to work at developing explosion and strength and coming off the football and all those small things that D linemen have to. So, you know, getting him out there may be good to see what he can do for us early on. But I think you know, he's not going to be the dominant force yet. I think that he is somebody that he continues to work to be a very good player here.
perception, I guess, what changed from after the game, understand, just coming off the field to when you watch film about, you know, having an open competition to giving Jack the nod on Saturday?
Well, I think when you watch the video and you sit down and you study it, you know, that's kind of what we came up with. And that doesn't mean, you know, two quarterbacks aren't going to play. I think you have to have both guys ready. I think both guys are inexperienced and they're young and they just got to continue to work through things. I think, you know, we always want to have the ability, if things aren't going well, we need a spark to be able to bring somebody in. And I think Aiden can possibly do that for us. He did, you know, led us on a good drive at the end of the game to get us a touchdown. Wasn't super sharp at the very beginning, but you know what, it was his first time ever playing, and you gotta, you know, and I have to understand those things after you watch film. So I think after watching it, you know, Jack just has to continue to progress, and we feel confident he'll continue to get better, and he works hard, and we have confidence that he can go out there and improve and do some good things.
After you watched the film, were there missed opportunities to push the ball to David Bell on Saturday?
Well, after I watched the film, there were some missed opportunities to score in the first 3 drives. You know, whether it was a drop ball, whether it was a wrong route run, whether it was a bust on a certain blocking scheme just on one area. You know, we had a chance to drive it down and score at the beginning of the game. You know, when we always want to get to David. In general, in those conditions, it was tough to throw the ball, and it was tough. You know, a lot of times we got to him, it was on screens, it was some things that, you know, we knew there were ways to get him open down the field. It was just a matter of completing the ball. And we had at least 4 solid drops and probably a few more on some checkdowns that would add to that mix where, shoot, you know, we're all on the headset saying pass plays we like and how to get open, but it's a matter of throwing and catching the ball in those conditions, and that was the hard part, and what made it harder to get it to David or really any outside receiver down the field.
How different is Nebraska's offense when Martinez is not in there and they've had a couple backups the last few weeks running their show?
Well, you're always going to get the spread offense. You're always going to get an athletic quarterback who's going to run that system and spread the field and get you in space and be able to use his legs to get some first downs and buy some time on some throws. And that's kind of what they've been on offense, you know, wherever Coach Frost has been. And I think the other guys have come in and improved and done a decent job. And, you know, I know that they'll be ready to go and, you know, they have the ability to score some points, and you know, the backup quarterbacks that they've played the last 2 games have gotten better.
Wayne Dale Robinson is somebody you're familiar with. Is he similar to Rondell in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I think so. I think the name sounds familiar, the play is familiar. You know, he's a playmaker, he's strong, he's built low to the ground. He can do a lot of things for him, catch it out of the backfield, run it out of the backfield, get open deep. I think when the ball's in his hand, and I'm sure that's what they want to do, they want to get it in his hand as many times as they can, because, you know, those are the guys that can make big time plays and can make explosive plays. That's really, you know, and as you look at some of the things that's happened on offense with us, we haven't been able to get explosive plays and some plays to guys to go the distance, even when we've had a few running lanes, just somebody that could break it. And that's kind of what Wandale does, is you know, get it in his hands enough, he'll make the spectacular play, and when he does, it's a big touchdown.
Yeah, Jeff, I guess 4 games left, you didn't win all 4. Your back's against the wall, sort of similar to, 2017. You guys responded. Talk about your message to the team as you try to finish out the season 4 in order to get to 6 wins.
Well, we've used the back against the wall this past week and the playoff format this past week, and even before. I think at this point, you know, that's zero of our focus right now. Our focus is finding ways to get better this week. We've got to take the small steps in order to get that done, and we can't worry about anything beyond that. So for us, you know, playing a historically good football team in Nebraska that's going to come in here hungry. that needs to get a win. We just gotta improve and get better and have a great week of practice and show improvement on the game field and try to win come game day. And that's kinda will be our approach this week, is just do everything we can to try to win this game, practice hard and then go out and compete, but we wanna see improvement.
And then, this season, you played a lot of freshmen. By my count, you played 12 true freshmen, played 9 last year, and just 4 your very first year. Just speak to the overall youth of this 2019 team.
Well, that's what we have on this team. It wasn't a big senior class coming in for this year, or even junior class, and that's shrunk drastically with some things that have happened injury-wise. So, yeah, it's a young team, and our goal is always to win now. But you also have to make sure that you're realistic with your players, and you understand that you got to step on the field and compete and try to get better, and you got to practice well, and things don't go the way you want. You can't hang your head too low, even though it's disappointing. I want myself and our guys to be upset when we're not winning, but that's part of the process. So I think it's important that all these young guys stick to it. Even the guys that maybe haven't seen the field, they're very close because they're the next one up, and they have to get ready. So it's important that we just understand as a team that it's about getting better, it's about working hard, it's about competing on game day and trying to win.
Generating turnovers has been an issue the last couple of years, Jeff. I mean, you were -5 turnover margin last year, you're -8 this year. Can you speak to the ability to generate turnovers, and maybe why that's been an issue, the turnover margin's been an issue for you for almost a couple of years now?
Well, turnover margin is always going to be an issue whether you win or lose. I think that this year, getting turnovers, we'd like to get more, and we haven't been able to get as many as you would like. And we work it every day, but in the end, you've got to read the quarterback, you've got to tackle, strip, be physical, and you've got to come downhill and make plays and find a way to get that done and apply some pressure. On the offensive side, when you turn over, it's going to be hard to win, especially in this past game and the weather's bad, and that's what we had. We tried to make a play quarterback, and it's a costly turnover, and then we tried to make a play running, and it popped out. So, we worked very hard at getting that done, and when you don't do that, you probably don't have a good chance of winning.
Do you think your offense can succeed when the weather conditions are inclement? There's rain, or if it's cold. Had some issues last week, the Eastern Michigan game, the Minnesota game. Is your offense built to succeed regardless of the game day conditions?
Well, against Eastern Michigan, we put up a ton of yards rushing, so we were able to run the ball in that game. We just, they threw the ball on us, and we weren't able to stop them when we needed to. So that game, we went to the running game and probably put 300 plus yards rushing. So, we know how to run the football. We've got to get better at, as a team at doing it. We've got to get better at knocking people back and hitting the hole and running through tackles and exploding for touchdowns. And, we've ran the ball here before. We ran it where I've been at before. And, I think each team is different. So you got to judge it on what you have and try to score points that way. And that's what we'll continue to do.
Is that it?